I wanted to make this video discussing whether Group Ironman is worth our time as RuneScape players, because there's obviously been a bit of controversy and I guess debate over whether it's actually a game mode that succeeded. A lot of people feel like it failed, which of course I think the TLDR is, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the aspects of Group Ironman did fail. But I also just want to go through and discuss why that may have failed and why some people may feel that way. Before I do dive into it, I do want to just give a brief rundown of my Group Ironman and my experience with Ironman in general. This is my first, I guess, unironic Ironman. Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't have the boots. Okay. So, this is my first Ironman in general that I've taken, like, beyond level, like, total level 400. And I have to say, I love it. I am addicted. And I'm a big advocate for just fuck Ironman. Like, you know, there's a large majority of the community that just is Ironman, and then the other part of the community is just like, fuck Ironman, because no one likes that one guy standing at the Grand Exchange who's an Ultimate Ironman with a max cape and a T-bow saying, selling T-bow 800 mil, so everyone trades him, to realize, oh no, I can't trade him, he's just an Ultimate Ironman who's maxed with a T-bow. And that guy, I've still got this, am I retarded? What is this? Okay, they can stay. There's someone, what was I saying? Right, yeah, the Ultimate Ironman, sitting at the Grand Exchange, max cape, T-bow, trying to get attention because no one can verify his progress and his, I guess, success in this game. That's the main core reason why people just think Ironman are cringe and need to shut the fuck up a lot of the time. And I agree completely, because I see it all the time. No one cares that you've got Zuck KC because no one fucking asked. But playing an Ironman has made me realize how much I enjoy this game again. I think it saved the game for me. And it's obviously the release of Ironman in general. I hope these sounds aren't too loud. The release of Ironman in general has saved RuneScape, I believe, to a great extent. The nature of Ironman is definitely the main reason why people still play this game, and the reason why this game is still alive. However, it is also restricting for the game being multiplayer. Aside from obviously Chambers of Xeric, Nightmare, Next, and Theatre of Blood, and then soon Raids 3. Outside of that, Ironman is it's not very multiplayer, but that's fine. It detaches you from the economy, which I think is really fucking healthy. And, oh god, hold on. I'm not paying attention. My bad. It detaches you from the economy, which is really healthy in my mind, because a lot of people care too much about money. So playing Ironman has honestly revived this game for me and my love for RuneScape. My progress on this account with the team is going very strong. We have replaced one of our team members, but we just replaced who's actually logging into the account, so we still have prestige. One of my mates in real life just isn't playing RuneScape at the moment. He doesn't want to play, so we've replaced him with another player. So we still have our prestige, we're still gaming, and honestly, we're pushing Theatre of Blood. I think we're on about 8 KC now. I've got the Dragon Hunter crossbow. I pulled that about maybe 20-30 raids ago. And yeah, I'm running solo Chambers of Xeric. I'm learning a lot playing this Ironman, because obviously a lot of the content is restricted. I can't just go buy a bunch of shit, and I have to kind of live with the fact that I need to get my own fucking herbs half the time now, which I get a lot through Slayer. So we have 2 of every Zenite piece of jewelry at the moment. We have shit, I don't know what we have outside of that. We've got a bunch of Ancestral Road Bottoms, plenty of that shit. Money is not a problem, especially now doing the Hydra. We have 3 enhanced weapon seeds, which unfortunately for the team have all come through just me. No one else seems to be able to pull one yet, unfortunately. But we've got also 7 armor seeds. So the Corrupted Gauntlet isn't going too well. Oh, look at that, 96 Slayer, fucking huge. For the most part, the team is going pretty strong. We're doing Theatre of Blood. Every Tuesday, we're guaranteeing some Theatre of Blood runs, or at least every second Tuesday as a 4-man, which I do live here on YouTube. So come by to this channel, come check it out, because there's a lot of gaming, and it's honestly a great environment. And I'm happy to teach you guys if you have any questions. If you want to learn something, if you want my opinion on something, I'm happy to share my knowledge. So that's my rundown of my Ironman experience very briefly. I do want to do more videos on just my account in general and my progression, because a lot of people do miss the content, but this is pretty much streamed 5 days a week, this account, since the release. We are group Fist of Cum, if you do want to check us out on the high scores. Honestly, the reason that, like, I guess my success and commitment to the Group Ironman game mode is why I think Group Ironman does work. But I also am, I understand and I agree that a lot of Group Ironman hasn't worked and has fallen short. And I don't know if Jagex is the one to blame. Entirely, at least. I think a lot of it is, a lot of people, there's a lot of factors to blame here. So we can't just completely lean on the old school team and Jagex themselves for not letting Group Ironman be as successful as it could be. Because obviously, Group Ironman was late. That's the big problem. We should have had this game mode years ago. In fact, even closer to the release of Ironman itself, it would have been way bigger. And I mean, there's a good possibility that Group Ironman could be even bigger in 6 months' time, in a year's time. As more people play it and more accounts progress, more people start to do combat achievements and remain hardcore as a group, you're going to see a lot more prestigious achievements out of Ironman or Group Ironman. It's just going to take a bit of time to get there. I don't think it works because it was marketed to a lot of streamers who don't play RuneScape, and they're not playing anymore. I feel like, I mean, it worked on release, but I feel like if that money went into content creators more than just those who played on the temporary server, it probably could have gone a lot smoother for a lot of people who are dedicated to making RuneScape content. It could have gone to furthering them as channels and them as content creators and motivated them to have a better opinion or a better stance and more experience in the Group Ironman game mode. Because they've obviously had to change the way it works numerous times, adding now unranked Group Ironman, allowing established Ironman to become Group Ironman. A few features that could have been maybe brought to us earlier. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing though, because again, the main reason I don't have a problem with Group Ironman is because I've managed to stay prestige with a group of people who I've never met two of them personally. I'm good mates with the other two. But I would always be raiding with Come Time 420 anyway. And Anubis, who is a noob, he's one of the big mods in my community. He would always be in conversations with me, and we would always be discussing shit anyway. So we had that sort of, I guess you could say, relationship, which we obviously weren't sucking each other's dick, but we may as well have been at that point. So I think having a team that is dedicated to the game and is closer than just, oh, hi, clan mate of 4 other people, let's make a group together, because that's just how people fall apart. Which I've seen happen numerous times in my community alone. People who, it's great at the start, but if a lot of people aren't dedicated to the Ironman grind, you're going to fall off pretty quickly. And I think that's where a lot of people find the flaw in Group Ironman. Again, this is just from my experience. This is my personal opinion. I'm not trying to change your minds on, I guess, the way the game mode works, because it works for some players and it doesn't work for others. I mean, look at the farmers who just lost their last life, but they're still playing and they're getting ready for Raids 3, but they're also dabbling back into their own Ironman accounts now. So they have an extra account now to play with. They have a team to play with for future content. Collaborating with content creators is honestly huge. I just don't give enough of a shit to go follow through with it, if I'm completely honest with you. Then you've got Alfie, Alkin, and what is it, Zulu? Or whoever the fuck else is on their team. I can't remember, maybe it was Verf. I can't remember who's on their team. But they're absolutely killing it. They're still hardcore. And they're gaming. They're having a lot of fun. So there is success in it with content creators because they have the same goals. They can reach the same achievements, and they can agree on the same content because, well, I mean, that's their job. They have the same view, and they're able to meet on a level where, again, 5 random people in a clan who barely game together outside of that might not be able to, which is why, again, Group Ironman happens to fail for a lot of players. But here's my controversial opinion on Group Ironman, and I'm more specific towards hardcore Group Ironman and prestige Group Ironman. I think, in my opinion, that prestige Group Ironman is the most prestigious and hardest Group Ironman or Ironman setting there is. And you might think, well, that's a bit obnoxious because hardcore Ironman in general have a harder time playing the game. Kind of. I agree they do have a hard time playing the game, but there's also things in the game where you're intentionally just being a shit cunt. Like, for example, KBD is not in the wilderness, and you can go farm KBD for hardcore Ironman. There are extreme measures you can take to, unless you DC at the exact moment that's incorrect, you will never get PK'd if you just if you're super careful. So I kind of disagree that things like the Dragon Pickaxe should be taken out of the wilderness for the sake of hardcore Ironman. But again, I guess being one of the best players in this game, I don't have the problems some other players do. But back to my point as to my view as to why I think Prestige Group Ironman, whether you're hardcore or normal, as long as you're Prestige as a team, is the single true Ironman game mode when it comes to playing alone. My main point comes from the end game content itself. You've got Next, Theatre of Blood, Chambers of Xeric, Nightmare. All those pieces of content, and Rage 3 coming out now. Those 3 pieces of content, or 5 pieces of content, sorry, are not restricted for Ironman. And I mean, that's how they were designed. As an Ironman, you can go and join as many people as you want for Next, for Chambers of Xeric, Nightmare, and you can run with those people and have 0 issues and pull yourself a unique item. Same goes to Theatre of Blood. You can go through with a main account early on Theatre of Blood and get yourself brews and staminas. Like, we could have done that ourselves. We could just I could drag this account through with my main, and we would have 0 issues. We could pull purples early. We can get ourselves some fat potion stacks before we get quest capes. That's a strategy, a legit method people use as Ironman, and I think that kind of removes the whole standing alone, playing alone aspect, as opposed to being able to trade up to 4 other Ironmen and sharing a bank with them, provided we're Prestige. I can only do Chambers of Xeric alone, or with the other Ironmen I started with. And I think that is a more prestigious and unique standalone concept than going with 4 other max mains to Theatre of Blood while I'm level 90 combat to help me get an early rapier. I think that kind of, oh god, hold on, takes away the standalone concept that a lot of Ironmen are kind of ignoring in a way. And I think because it's not spoken about, and I mean, it doesn't need to be spoken about, I'm not trying to preach it to change your mind. It's just an opinion I have, which is controversial enough to upset some people, but valid enough because it makes fucking sense. So I feel that putting that out there and just letting it linger for a bit, that real Ironmen, if you want to flex anything, you should be Prestige Group Ironman. Otherwise, your opinion's now fucking invalid. Would be a legitimate argument to make, like, probably if Group Ironman came out around the same time as every other Ironman game mode. It would have been way more valid, and it might be an argument legitimately in the near future as Group Ironman accounts progress. I'm surprised how many are not Prestige. How many groups are not Prestige? People broke it very early and moved on. And I mean, it happens when people burn out. It happens when people decide they don't want to restrict content outside of doing Cox. They want to go through early. And it's fine. Obviously, you can play the game however you want. I'm not telling you how to play the game. I'm simply putting out my opinion of how I would want to, I guess, flex this account in 6 to 12 months' time, or this group in general. I'm going for the combat achievements. That is my goal. I'm about 20 tasks away from getting Elite done. I've just got to start doing Nightmare. I just want to get my strength up so I can be more consistent at the Nightmare and for Sunday Nightmare in general. Outside of that, we shouldn't really have a problem. I do have a small vision of doing as many challenges as I can without a scythe, which is obviously going to be the case unless we pull multiple scythes. Obviously, my teammates will have to use scythes when it comes to a few speedrunning attempts, but myself, if I can try not to do any tasks with a scythe in my hand, I'd be pretty fucking happy. Mostly because I like the idea of that challenge. It kind of motivates me to push myself a little further than, I guess, the standard combat achievement run, and I think the scythe does play a big part in a few aspects of the game. We don't have a T-bow yet, at least. I'm still hunting this Dragon Hunter Lance, which is hopefully going to come through soon, because then I can start running some challenge mode chambers and I guess guarantee getting time. But yeah, that's I didn't really have a direction of this video. I thought I'd just kind of start rambling and see where it goes. But that's my kind of take on where Group Ironman sits and whether it works. I think it does work, provided... I think the fact that there's Prestige, Unprestige, and unranked Group Ironman, sorry, is why it does work. I think it doesn't work when people who don't give it a shot or don't have any interest in it shit on it. And I think that could be said for anything in this game, if I'm honest. Like, people who've never been Iron Man shit on Iron Man, and that's why people have a negative view of Iron Man. And I think the same goes for Group Ironman. So it's not really an argument to be made there. I think if you've experienced Group Ironman and you find a dedicated team, and you don't say break up your team because your best friend slept with your sister, which is something that actually happened in a content creator group Ironman 10. Just thought I'd flex that for the meme. Yeah, I think you could definitely go places, and I think group Ironman definitely works as a game mode. But again, prestige, group Ironman, dedicated like what I've got here, works if you have the same like-minded and committed player base. Otherwise, you have a non-prestige team with a few prestige players, or you have unranked completely. You join, you get your Ironman, and you get another person's Ironman. You join together. That way, you don't have to solo every God Wars boss. You can actually play together and share drops. There is that aspect too. Make sure you just, you know, be careful who you trust with your fucking bank and what you put into this game. But I think like-minded Ironman players who are dedicated to a grind can definitely achieve great things with group Ironman. And I think that for that reason alone, the game mode does work. Just not to the extent that people either hoped it would, hyped it up to be, or that Jagex really tried to sell it to us as. Because I think the money they invested, which is, a lot of it is undisclosed to other creators like Mizkif and what's his name, Most Critical, and there was some other cunt that got paid to play it. You know, there's a few content creators out there that big streamers on Twitch and didn't really give a shit. So it was really hard to kind of grasp the quality that of I guess service that Group Ironman could have given us if they gave the money to, I would say mid tier content creators who are looking to start out, looking to push through. When I say mid tier, I mean newer. Not necessarily the titans of Group Ironman, people in the field that have been streaming a few years, have a decent player base, and valid opinions on the game, who just don't want to change aspects of this game to suit their own agenda. They're actually looking for the best interest in the game's longevity. I have no idea if what I'm saying actually makes sense at this point. I'm just kind of rambling on, but that's, yeah, long story short, I feel like Group Ironman does work, and I feel like my experience as an Ironman works too. I don't know if this is something that you guys enjoyed watching or listening to. I just thought I'd throw on the recorder and talk about my thoughts on Group Ironman because I've played it long enough now to kind of have an opinion. I feel I've got 110 days, about to hit 111 days in this game mode, and I think it works, and I'm pretty fucking happy with the way it does work. So again, leave your comments down below if you feel like this video format worked in general, if you want more of this, and I want to try to give some more insight to the Ironman experience and how to start a grind on one in general and go from there. That's about it, guys. I do stream 5 days a week right here on this YouTube channel, so join the Discord down below so you don't miss an upload or miss a stream. Sit tight, don't be a shit cunt, and fuck off. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge! You got a big boy.